Have you ever found an old coin and wondered whether it could be worth much more than its face value? Sometimes, a coin can look completely ordinary at first glance. It may be small, common, and easy to overlook. But when you take a closer look, you may discover dates, inscriptions, designs, or unusual details that make the coin much more interesting to collectors. Today, we're taking a close look at this Saudi Arabian 25 Halalas coin from 2016, which also carries the Islamic Hijri date 1438. At first, it might seem like just another small denomination coin. But what exactly is this coin? Why does it show two different years? Is the 2016 date important? Could this particular coin be rare? What factors actually determine its collector value? And most importantly, what should you check if you have one of these coins in your own collection? Stay with me until the end, because we're going to examine this coin step by step. Welcome back to Coin Collection 1, where we explore interesting coins, their history, designs, dates, and potential collector value. Let's start with the basics. The coin we're looking at today is a Saudi Arabian 25 Halalas coin dated 2016. The denomination is clearly shown as 25, and the coin also carries the words 25 Halalas. The coin features Arabic inscriptions and traditional design elements associated with Saudi Arabia. One of the most noticeable details is the date. On one side, we can see 2016, while another date, 1438, is also present. These two dates can immediately make the coin interesting to someone who isn't familiar with Saudi Arabian coinage. But don't worry, there's a simple explanation. The year 2016 refers to the Gregorian calendar, the calendar most commonly used internationally. The year 1438 refers to the Islamic Hijri calendar. So, seeing both dates on the same coin isn't necessarily a mistake or an error. Instead, the two dates provide information using two different calendar systems. And this is one of the first details that makes the coin worth examining more closely. Now, let's talk about the denomination. The coin is marked 25 Halalas. A halala is a subdivision of a Saudi riyal. This means that 25 Halalas represents a fraction of one Saudi riyal. The denomination is prominently displayed so that the coin can be easily identified and used in everyday transactions. On the reverse side, the large 25 immediately catches your attention. Below it, the English wording 25 Halalas helps confirm the denomination. For collectors, denomination is one of the first things used when identifying a coin. But denomination alone doesn't tell us whether a coin is rare. Two coins with exactly the same face value can have completely different collector interests depending on their date, mintage, condition, variety, and other characteristics. That's why we need to look beyond the number 25. Now let's answer one of the most interesting questions about this coin. Why does it say 2016 and 1438? The answer is the use of two calendar systems. The Gregorian calendar uses years, such as 2016. The Islamic Hijri calendar uses years, such as 1438. Because the Islamic calendar follows a lunar system, the numbers don't correspond directly in the same way that two Gregorian dates would. So, when you see 2016 and 1438 together, don't assume that one of them is a mistake. They represent the same general period using different calendar systems. For coin collectors, dates are extremely important. The date can help identify the exact issue of a coin and distinguish it from similar coins produced in other years. That's why even a small number engraved on a coin can be extremely important when you're trying to identify it. Now let's take a closer look at the design. The coin has a relatively simple but distinctive appearance. The large denomination 25 dominates one side. Around the denomination, we can see decorative elements and inscriptions. The Arabic writing is also an important part of the coin's identity. On the opposite side, the date and other Arabic inscriptions are arranged around the central design. When you're examining an old or collectible coin, don't just look at the largest number. Look at everything. Check the lettering. Look at the spacing. Look at the borders. Look at the central symbols. Look at the date. And most importantly, compare the details from one example to another if you have access to multiple coins. Small differences can sometimes indicate a different variety or minting characteristic. But remember, an unusual-looking coin isn't automatically a rare coin. You need evidence before calling something a valuable error or variety. Now we arrive at the question many people want answered. Is this 2016 Saudi 25 Halalas coin rare? The safest answer is, the date alone does not prove rarity. This is extremely important. You may see videos online claiming that an ordinary-looking coin is worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. But a large asking price online doesn't automatically mean that someone actually paid that amount for the coin. Real coin values are based on the actual market, rarity, condition, demand, and other factors. For this particular coin, the fact that it says 2016 does not automatically make it a rare treasure. Instead, you need to investigate several factors. How many were produced? How many remain? What condition is the coin in? Are there recognized varieties? Does the coin have a genuine minting error? Is there strong collector demand? These are the questions that matter. So, if you have one of these coins, don't throw it away, but don't assume it's worth a fortune either. One of the most important factors in coin collecting is condition. Imagine two identical coins. Both have the same denomination. Both have the same year. Both have the same basic design. But one coin has been heavily circulated for years. Its lettering is worn. Its surface has scratches. The edges are damaged. The design is difficult to see. The other coin has sharp details, clean surfaces, and very little visible wear. Collectors may consider the second example much more desirable. This is why you should never judge a coin's potential value simply by its age. An old coin isn't automatically valuable, and a newer coin isn't automatically worthless. Condition matters. If you have this 25 Halalas coin, examine it carefully under good lighting. Look at the date. Look at the lettering. Look at the borders. Look at the central design. And avoid aggressively cleaning or polishing the coin just to make it look shiny. Cleaning can actually reduce collector appeal because it can alter the original surface of the coin. Now let's talk about something that can make an ordinary coin much more interesting: a genuine minting error. Minting errors can happen during the manufacturing process. Depending on the type of error, collectors may sometimes find unusual examples with differences in the design, lettering, strike, alignment, or other characteristics. But here's where you need to be careful. Not every strange mark is a mint error. A scratch could have happened after the coin left the mint. A dent could have been caused by circulation. Damage around the edge could come from normal use. Discoloration could simply be environmental damage. So if you notice something unusual, don't immediately assume you've discovered a rare error coin. First, compare it with normal examples. Look for reliable references. And if the difference appears significant, consider having the coin examined by someone experienced in numismatics. A genuine minting error is very different from damage that happened after the coin entered circulation. That distinction can make a major difference to collector interest. Another area many beginners forget to examine is the edge of the coin. When checking a coin, don't only inspect the front and back. Look around the entire edge. Check whether it appears normal. Look for unusual strikes, irregularities, lettering if applicable, or damage. The edge can sometimes provide additional clues about a coin's manufacturing process. However, just like the front and back, unusual damage doesn't automatically mean the coin is rare. A coin that has been dropped, scratched, squeezed, or damaged during circulation can develop strange-looking features. That's why careful examination is important. If you're serious about collecting coins, getting into the habit of examining the entire coin, not just one side, can help you spot details that other people might miss. So what actually makes a coin valuable? There isn't just one answer. There are several major factors. The first is rarity. If relatively few examples exist, collectors may be more interested. The second is condition. Coins with excellent preservation can be much more desirable than heavily worn examples. The third factor is demand. Even a rare coin may not have a huge market if very few collectors are interested in it. Another factor is historical importance. Some coins become collectible because of the period they represent, an important event, or a change in a country's currency system. And finally, we have errors and varieties. A genuine and desirable minting error can sometimes make a coin significantly more interesting. That's why you should consider all of these factors together instead of focusing on just one number printed on the coin. There's something every new coin collector should know. The internet is full of exaggerated coin value claims. You may see a headline saying, "This coin is worth $10,000." Or, "Check your pocket change. This coin could make you rich." These titles are designed to get attention. Sometimes there really is an interesting, rare variety behind the story. But sometimes the information is exaggerated, misleading, or based on an unrealistic asking price. So always be careful. A seller listing a coin for a huge amount doesn't mean the coin actually sold for that amount. If you want to know the real value of a coin, look for evidence of actual sales, reliable coin references, and professional opinions when necessary. That's especially important if someone claims that a common-looking coin is worth an enormous amount of money. So, should you keep a 2016 Saudi 25 Halalas coin? Absolutely, if you're interested in coin collecting. Even if an ordinary example isn't worth a large amount of money, that doesn't make it uninteresting. They can tell us about a country's currency, language, culture, design traditions, and economic history. Those are the details that can make the difference. So before you spend it, take a closer look. Because sometimes the story behind a coin is just as interesting as its price. If you enjoyed this coin investigation, make sure to subscribe to Coin Collection 1, because we're going to keep exploring interesting coins from around the world. And if you have a 2016 Saudi 25 Halalas coin, take a close look at yours. Check the date, condition, design, and edge, and you may discover a detail you never noticed before. Thanks for watching Coin Collection 1. Keep checking your coins, keep learning, and remember, every coin has a story. See you in the next coin discovery.